Okay. All right. Yay. I'm so excited to introduce to you guys Brittney Howard. She is an Emerald from Georgia, and I got to meet her when I was doing Jewel training here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And she's just a sweetheart of a person. I honestly didn't even get to know her all that much at training, but I saw her in Hawaii for a little bit, and she just was, every time she spoke at Jewel training, she just kind of like some of the other Jewels, like just kind of commented, like she just kind of had wisdom flowing from her tongue. She's probably gonna get real embarrassed me saying that, but it's true. Like she just seemed like she really was in tune with belief, full on belief in the company and in the products and in the opportunity. And so I asked Brittney to share with us her story. And also, if she would share with us just some tips on just belief and encouragement for you guys and your plexus.
Ladybug, leave them alone.
So I'm going to mute everybody, and if you want to ask questions at the end, we'll take a few minutes for that. But I'm going to let Brittney get started. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's an honor to share with you guys, and I appreciate all those nice things you said about me. Very, very glad. Am I echoing?
Oh no. I don't know why.
Is everybody muted?
Yeah, everybody mute yourself. There we go. Okay.
Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's better. Okay, so I'm Brittney, and I am a homeschooling mom of 5. So I'll just share my story with you, and then if we have time at the end, I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So I started with Plexus about 3.5 years ago, and mainly because I started with the products, but I just wanted to lose a little bit of weight after my 4th baby. I saw one of my really health-minded friends posting on Facebook about this plexus stuff, and I trusted her. Like, I knew what she believed about health, and I knew her lifestyle backed that up. And so I knew that if she was endorsing this, that she would have done her research. So I jumped all in with the products, loved the products. And it helped me a lot with my sugar cravings, which was a big deal for me because I was such a chocolate addict. And I would literally, if I didn't have junk food in my pantry at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I would load all of my kids up, buckle every one of them into their car seats, and drive to the store to get some chocolate. And I just realized I wasn't doing that so much anymore. So that was a big deal for me. But one thing that it helped me with that I had no idea it was going to help me with was my digestive issues. I was always bloated. Like, by the end of every day, I just would look like I was 6 months pregnant. And I didn't know why. It didn't matter what I would eat or didn't eat, didn't seem to matter. I just was always bloated, had trouble being regular. Like, that was my whole life. And that was just, to me, normal. And so I realized several months in that my digestive issues were clearing up, and my stomach was like a normal person's stomach. So that was a pleasant surprise. Had no idea it was going to help with that. And I was on the triplex, but that was before the triplex was even a thing. That was before triplex was cool. So it definitely helped with my digestive issues. So I told my husband that he was going to be my guinea pig. And if it worked for him, I was going to be telling everybody I knew about this stuff. So I got him on the products. He lost like 20 pounds in his first 3 or 4 months. It was really awesome to watch. Like, every day he woke up smaller, and I was jealous because mine was not that fast, but it was awesome. And also, not only that, but it helped with his sneezing fits. If you have sneezing fits, you know what the technical word for that is that I can't say, but that was a big deal because he couldn't even go to his mom's house. His mom had dogs, and so 5 minutes in her house, and he would just have uncontrollable sneezing fits, bloodshot eyes, nose pouring, and like we would have to leave. And so, of course, that made his mom feel bad. So, you know, we were all happy that that cleared up. And so I really just wanted to know, like, why is it helping with so many things? What does my digestive issues have to do with his sneezing fits? Because they seem to be completely unrelated. So I started doing research, and what I found was that almost everything is related to the same 2 things, the same core issues: blood sugar balance and gut health. And that is exactly what these products were addressing. So I realized how many people I could help with this, and also combine that with the timing of this company and this opportunity. And I just jumped in with the business. I did start telling everyone I know about it. But my story was not an overnight success story. It really wasn't. Mine was one of struggle and difficulty. I'm Emerald now. It took me a while to get there. So when I first started the business, I worked really, really hard for about 7 months. And then I got really frustrated and I just quit. I quit cold turkey. I was silver. I was about halfway to gold. And that was 7 months in. And I got really frustrated. I really thought I couldn't do it. I got overwhelmed. I just was really stressed with the whole thing. And when I quit, I felt a burden lift. Honestly, I thought I made the right decision for a little while until that regret creeped in, right? And so for a whole entire year, a solid year, I did not work my business. But you know what? I was still getting paid every single month. Every month I still was getting a check, and it was more than enough to cover our products. I mean, we still use the products, but I really just didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I could do it. But after a year of me still getting paid for work that I had done that first 7 months, that really built my belief in the business model. I was like, this is really powerful, and I really would love to figure this out. And so that's what I did. My upline, her name is Fallon Black. She was also my best friend. We really started doing it together, and she got to gold pretty quickly. I think 4 or 5 months she hit gold, but she was stuck there for a very long time. When I quit, she lost pretty much her whole team, and so she didn't go very far for a while either. And in that year that I had quit, I watched her do a lot of personal growth. Like, I could literally see the changes, and I was wondering, what is going on here? And as she was doing that personal growth, I saw her business grow. Whereas before, I just thought, there's just no way we could do this. I just don't think we have what it takes. But I saw her team growing, and that gave me hope, and that inspired me, because I thought, well, Fallon's no different than I am. We're both homeschooling moms. We both have 5 kids. She's really no different than I am. If she can do it, maybe I can do it too. And so I started doing a lot of personal growth on my own. And what I came to realize was that I lacked belief in myself. And that was why I got so frustrated. It wasn't just that I lacked belief in myself. I also lacked belief in the products. Because during that 7 months that I had worked, I had a few customers that were telling me, oh, yeah, I tried it and it didn't work, or, they weren't noticing results right away or whatever. And I really didn't understand the value of what I had my hands on here. And so I let that discourage me, and really I let it defeat me for a while. And I really let it rob me of my dreams, because I didn't know. I really didn't know any better. Well, I listened to several calls from some jewels that really built my belief. One was Amber Miller. One was a call with Charlotte Seams, who's now a sapphire. And one was Eva Schmidt. She's a diamond. So I just started being really intentional about what I put in my mind. And also I read some books that literally changed my life. Switch on Your Brain was one of them. I just realized that really the only thing that was holding me back from being successful in my business was me. It was me. It was my thought life. It was my lack of belief in myself and in these products. So I worked on my belief. I did a lot of personal growth. And those things are things that I had to be intentional about. It's not something that just occurred to me naturally. I didn't just wake up one day and say, okay, I think I believe in myself. I really had a long history of years prior to that of, some painful things that had happened in my life that had really left me feeling pretty worthless. And this business has a way of bringing out what you're really good at and also bringing out some things that you might struggle with. But anybody can do it. It requires personal growth, but you can overcome any obstacle. Any success story is going to have obstacles. You're not going to find a success story that does not have a tale of defeat in it, or maybe not defeat, but at least failure. But the difference between what successful people do and what unsuccessful people do is how they handle failure in their life, because you are going to fail. But as long as you are failing forward, then you can be successful, because a sailor would never be a good sailor if he never encountered any storms, right? If it was just smooth sailing all the time, a sailor would never gain experience or wisdom. He would never be able to really get good at what he's doing. But if you go through some storms, then you get tougher and you get stronger and you get better, and that's how growth happens. So be thankful for your storms, because your storms are tailor-made just specifically for you, because God knows what you need in order to grow you, in order to improve you, in order to bless you, honestly. And so your trials are tailor-made for you. And if you're in a trial right now, then just ask yourself, what should I be learning from this? How can I get better? And what do I need to do to overcome this? And also be thankful for your trials, because your trials are going to be your future success story. When you do figure out how to overcome whatever it is that's ailing you in your business, that is what is going to encourage your team in the future, because your trials give you hope. When you have a story and you say, I had a difficulty, I had a challenge, I had an obstacle that I had to overcome, and I did it, and this is how I did it, that gives people hope. Because we all love to see these stories. We're all wowed and amazed by these success stories of people, getting to emerald in 6 months or diamond in a year and things like that. We're all like, wow, that's really amazing. But can we really relate to that? Most of us cannot. Most people, this does not come natural. Most people, this is something that we have to learn and get really good at. Not that the people who have huge success stories like that don't have to learn, because they definitely do. But for most people, this is a journey of trial and error, of struggle and victory, of just overcoming, learning, growing, and getting better. So if you're not an overnight success story, that doesn't mean that you won't be successful, because you can be. If I was, you can be. So you have to make a decision, though, that you're going to move forward, that whatever you're going through, you're not going to stay there. So what I did when I had quit that year is I started working on myself. And when I did that, something clicked in my mind. And when I realized that what was holding me back was my thought life about myself and about our products, my thought life was holding me back. When I worked on that and I jumped back in with the business the second time around, I went from silver to emerald in 1 year. And the first time I'd worked the business, it took me 7 months of hard work to get halfway to gold. The only thing I changed was my mind. My upline did not change. The products did not change. The company did not change. Nothing changed except for me. And so if you want to be successful in this business, it starts right here. It starts in your mind. It starts with your thoughts. You talk to yourself all day, every day. Did you know you have like 50,000 thoughts every single day? Most of them are neutral. Like, did I turn the coffee maker? A lot of the thoughts are not neutral. A lot of your thoughts can be damaging. Most are not positive, unless you have already been very intentional about your personal growth and your mindset. Most of us tend to think negatively. And your thoughts are important, because your thoughts are going to determine what you believe. And your belief is important, because your belief is going to determine how you behave. And you need a 100% to the core, unshakable belief in 3 things in order to be successful in your business. So the first thing is yourself. You have to believe that you can do this. You have to believe that you have what it takes. And I used to think thoughts all the time, like, okay, so what if, Leslie, she lives in the same town I do. Why would somebody join my team and not hers? Like, why, what do I have to offer that? Why wouldn't they just go join her? I just didn't realize that I had value to offer people. I would also think things like, well, what if I did get to Diamond? Do I have what it takes to take care of that many people? Do I even have what it takes to lead that many people? And, the answer is yes. Yes, I do, because you know what? I don't have to lead thousands of people. Really, who I have to lead is a core group of inner circle people, my runners, my workers. It's going to be the top 20%. Those are the people on my team that I really invest in. I love the 80%. I invest in the top 20%. Okay. So but if you're constantly telling yourself, I can't do this. Nobody wants to join my team. Nobody wants to work the business. Nobody likes the products. Everybody's quitting. If those are the types of things that you're telling yourself all day long, then your behavior is going to act in accordance with what you are telling your brain. Your brain is like a computer. Output is going to equal whatever the input was, just like a computer, right? So if that's what you're inputting it, then your output is going to act accordingly, right? So your brain doesn't know any different. You have to you have to be in control of your thought life, okay? You really have to be intentional about what you are allowing in your mind. It's something that you have to be proactive about. It's something you might always have to be proactive about. Nobody ever arrives. I still have to be proactive about it to this day. And so do the diamonds. I was talking to Brooke Hemingway the other day, and she was telling me the same thing, that something she has always struggled with and still has to be proactive about. So you have to be proactive about what you're allowing in your mind. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you have value to offer people, that God has given you special talents and abilities that nobody else has, and that you do have what it takes to build a successful business. All right, the other thing that you need to be 100% unshakable in your belief in is these products. Please understand what you have your hands on here. This was one thing that really held me back. If you don't believe that you have value to offer people with these products, then you're going to hesitate when it comes to mentioning Plexus to your friends or your family. Or your cold market, whoever the case may be. But if you really, really, truly believe that you have value to offer people, then you won't hesitate. If you knew that you had, say your mom had some incurable disease, and you knew that you had a single bottle of something that would cure her disease, okay, would you be worried about bugging her? Would you be worried about bothering her? No, of course not. Not saying Plexus cures incurable diseases, but I'm just saying your belief will give you courage, and it's going to determine how you behave. If you really truly believe that you have something on your hands that's helping address some very core issues of health that everyone deals with, and that these products are truly needed by the masses, then that will give you courage to share, okay? And it will give you courage to be persistent in your follow-up, okay? You won't be worried so much about if you're bugging people and things like that. All right, and the third thing you need to believe in 100% is this business opportunity. So you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in these products, but you also have to believe in network marketing as an industry. So I would say you need to understand the timing, not just the products, but how the products are combined with the timing of this opportunity. If you can really get a grasp on that, you will be scratching your head trying to figure out why everyone won't do this with you. And when you get passionate like that and excited, people follow that. Okay, so you have to believe in what you're doing with network marketing, how this business model can take ordinary people and allow them to achieve extraordinary things. I can't think of anything else I could do as a stay-at-home mom of 5 kids with no skills, no huge network, live in the middle of nowhere in a one red light town, a town that I'm not even from. So I don't even know a lot of people here. I don't know of anything else I could do that would allow me from going from a couple $100s a month as a silver ambassador to a 6-figure annual income as an emerald ambassador in 1 year's time. Okay, just know the power of what you have your hands on here with this business model. I love these products, and the products are changing lives, but guys, so is this business. This business, my life looks completely different now than it did even a year ago. My family has been so blessed by the income that Plexus has provided us with. Not only that, it's given my husband options because he's always wanted to start his own business, and he never was able to because we couldn't afford for him to miss one paycheck. He couldn't just take a leap of faith and, become an entrepreneur and risk not having income because we were a one-income family, right? So this business has allowed us options, flexibility, and freedom. And that is what you're offering the people that you know. And if you know you have something valuable to offer people, then you're not going to hesitate, right? But that all goes back to your belief. So you have to believe in what you're doing with these products and this business opportunity, and believe in yourself. If you don't have that belief, you're going to have to be intentional about gaining it. So it's okay if right now you're struggling with that, because the good news is you can get it. You can build it up, but you have to work at it, right? So if you're struggling with belief, I would say start listening to any call that you can find on YouTube, any Zoom you can find on YouTube with diamonds or jewels. I would listen to any call you can get your hands on, because I'd watch all the diamond documentaries. I would read books about network marketing and build your belief in the industry. I would research every single ingredient that you can find on the label of any of our products and see if you're not amazed, and see if you don't decide that everyone you know needs to be on these products. And if you're struggling with belief in yourself, I would just encourage you to read some books about your thought life, your mindset. Because if you're doing all the work, and if somebody's feeling stuck in their business and they tell me that, the first thing I ask is, what's your IPA? How many new people have you reached out to over the past week? Because if you look at your IPA over the past week, the past month, if everyone on your team was doing the same amount of IPA that you have done in the past week or the past month, would you consider them a rock star? So that's where you start. You analyze yourself. Are you doing your IPA? And if you are doing your IPA and you still feel stuck, then I would say it's personal growth issue 100% of the time. You have to work on yourself. You have to add value to you so that you can add value to others, okay? It could be mindset and negativity. It could be leadership skills. It could be a whole lot of things. So I would encourage you to work on yourself. Personal growth is a huge part of this business. And I love to hear people say this business is like personal growth with a paycheck, because that is exactly what it has been for me. I am not the same Brittney that I was several years ago when I started this business. And for that's invaluable to me. If I never earned another dime with Plexus, I would be thankful for what I have learned with this business opportunity. So that's about what I have, Rebecca. Did you have any questions? Anything else you want to add?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that was so great. We did a book study on what to say when you talk to yourself with some of my leaders, but not everybody got in on that book study. So you pretty much wrap that up in a nutshell, talking about how your brain is a computer and what you put into it. And that was just so totally motivating and encouraging, because I think that's true. A lot of times it really is what we're feeding into our brain. And that. So I really appreciate all of that wisdom that you just gave us. So books, as far as books, you said Switch On Your Brain or Switch Off Your Brain?
Switch On Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf.
Okay.
That book changed my life. Not just my business. That book changed my life. And I love that everything I learned that helped me in my business helps me in my life. It helps me become a better mother and a better wife and a better friend. Personal growth, it's all interconnected. You can't separate your business from who you are as a person,
Yeah, and I love that you, because I kind of had forgotten that about your story. You probably told it at Jewel Training too, but I forgot that you were silver, halfway to gold, and quit for a year. And so I think that's really inspiring to people that maybe have been in the same rank a long time or haven't got to gold yet, or, like the sky is the limit still, and you can always pick up where you left off and come back and be an emerald like you are. That's so encouraging. But your mindset was the big thing that played the key role in that, right?
Yes, definitely. Mindset and fear. And, when I jumped back in this business, I did struggle with a lot of fear. I worried, like, what are people going to think about me? I failed the first time around. And I definitely had a fear of what people were going to think or whatever. I had actually even tried another business. That didn't go well. So, I definitely had a lot of fear because I felt like I had failed, and I just wondered, are people going to take me seriously? But I didn't let it stop me. And nobody has to. If you stay there, that is what's going to defeat you. But failure is not a sign of, you're not going to be successful, because like I said, everybody has to go through nobody's perfect. Nobody has arrived. So we're all going to have our issues and our problems, but that's going to be your future story that gives people hope. Just like I can share my story with you right now. It wasn't fun to go through it, but now I can share my story with people, and it inspires people, and it makes them think, you know what, I can do that too.
Yeah, well, you're definitely inspiring.
Well, thank you.
Do you feel like maybe when you went through that time where you quit and then you tried another business and you just weren't sure, do you feel like that first time you didn't really have your why established very strong? Do you feel like that's what drove you back into it? Or what do you think was the main driving force that made you think, okay, maybe I can do this better this time?
I had a why, but my why just didn't seem attainable to me. It just didn't feel like I could ever achieve that. It just felt like some dream, like far off in another person's world, but not mine. Because like I said, I had just been through some heartache that had left me feeling pretty worthless. And so I just didn't feel like it was attainable. So I know for some people, having a why, if you don't have a why, you definitely need a why, because your why is going to have to be what drives you through those failures and your fears and the emotional ups and downs that can come with this business. You definitely want to be driven by your why and not your emotions. For me, it really was just my mindset. That's what kept me stuck. And I think Fallon would tell you the same thing. Fallon did not, she's a diamond now, and she's actually on her reentry, but she would tell you that her mindset kept her stuck as well. She was stuck at gold for 18 months. And then when she changed her mindset, which her mindset was not belief, she didn't struggle with belief in herself. She definitely believed she would be a diamond, but she struggled with negativity all the time. Like anytime she would post or comment in any of the team pages, they would delete it because she was just so negative, but she didn't realize it. I mean, she would call me and be like, am I negative? And I'd be like, well, it really was that. So her struggle with her mindset was just negativity. And she did a lot. Like I said, I watched her personal growth as well. And we both had a lot of personal growth to go through, but just in different ways. So mine was belief. Hers was negativity, but it was both of us had personal growth issues. So if you're doing all the work and you're still not growing as fast as you want, you really just do have to look and see how you can grow as a person and how you can improve as a person.
Wow, that's so good. Okay, I'm going to open it up for you guys. If you have some questions, just unmute yourself. And we won't be on too super long because I know that Brittney has another call after this.
Yeah, I do. 9:30.
Okay. Wait, what time is it now? Is that like soon? Like in a few minutes?
9:30, yeah. It's 9:30.
Well, then I guess, okay, maybe 2 quick questions. They have to be quick.
Okay.
Anybody? Maybe shy.
How long did you do the business? I mean, the first time you said just a year or 7 months?
The first time around, it was 7 months, working really hard, got halfway to go and quit. The second time, it was 1 year from silver to emerald.
Cool. Thank you.
I love that. It's great.
how many people did I reach out to a day? That varied significantly. The first time around, I don't even remember. That was like 3.5 years ago. But when I went from silver to emerald, it was at least 2 new people every single day, sometimes 5. And if I had a big goal, it might be even more than that. But I was very consistent with my IPA, and really the fortune is in the follow-up. It really is. And I could really preach a sermon about follow-up. So don't get me started there,
We'll have
but
you back.
you really have to follow up.
That's awesome.
So anywhere from 2 to 5 consistently over the course of a year. That's how I got to emerald.
Okay. All right. I am going to let you get off here so you can get a drink of water at least before your next call. But thank you so much, Brittney. We really appreciate you. And it was great to see you on here tonight. So
all right. No problem. Thank you, Rebecca, for having me. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.